Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So earlier today I posted a video on this new type of walker, or at least I was speculating in the video whether or not this could be a walker, and we talked about it quite a bit. We went into detail onto whether or not this could be a walker. And so I'm not going to bring up those same type of ideas in here, like that was for that video, but I saw a lot of comments of people saying a bunch of other things, and that was something that I thought a little bit more about, and actually I wonder if it could make a little bit more sense, and that is, she's a human, something went wrong, she's like feral, she's wild, she's been living out here in the apocalypse for quite a while. At that point, you got to question, well, why? Like, why do they look so different? We know that there's this woman here, and then we know that I believe it's a man that Connie sees through the eye hole, or like whatever that was. It might have been like a slot where you put like envelopes and stuff. So there seems to be a really creepy, crazy family here. And so that got me thinking, and also not just me, I have to give credit to you guys for posting this. A lot of people were posting this in the comments on like, could this actually be a CRM experiment gone wrong? And I actually think there's a little bit more credibility to this than the walker theory. And the reason is because obviously having walkers advance more and evolve, you know, The Walking Dead doesn't really do that too much, or at least whenever they've gotten close to it, they shy away from it immediately. And so ignoring that and assuming that they're not going to be doing that, what if this is actually a CRM experiment gone wrong? And that these are human beings that have just went through some really crazy shit. Because that's the thing, the CRM stuff, they are looking for a cure. They are doing tests on like walkers. They're doing tests on, I'm sure, humans. I'm sure it's not just walkers, because like, who has an issue with doing tests on walkers? I mean, that's really not the end of the world, right? They're already dead. You're trying to find a cure. I mean, go ahead, do it. But where Will and Felix's group in World Beyond, like they have like this whole anti-CRM group going, they could have issues with it because they're using live test subjects, right? Like that, there could be some issues there because maybe you really want to test it out on people, like something's working, it seems to work, and then you give it to people, and then you get this sort of a reaction. And so in that way, you are almost creating an evolution of a walker. It's not like an actual walker, but you're messing up these people by doing stuff like that. But anyways, I want to talk about this. So obviously, before we go any further, if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber. If you want to get more Walking Dead content like this, I'm really excited to be watching the episode this Sunday. Honestly, I really can't wait. Seeing this photo just got me so hyped for the episode. I just can't wait. Like at this point, I'm just, regardless of what it is, I mean, it is different, right? Whether or not you think it's an advanced walker or an evolved walker, I guess, or if you think it's a human that's like wild. I mean, there's something wrong with this. This isn't normal. People don't get like this. We've never seen a person get like this in the apocalypse. And that's where the whole thing for me is like, because again, like, why would these people be so feral? The apocalypse does do crazy things to you. It does. But it doesn't turn you into things like this, or at least we've never seen it yet. And yes, we are 10 years in, and yes, you could make the argument that maybe we're just too used to Alexandria, but when you go out there in the real world, you're going to come across people like this. But I just think that's a little bit too much. I think there's something wrong with these people, because first of all, this woman looks like she has a lot of dirt on her. She's wounded, but if you look at her face just in general, like something is a little bit off. She's a bit different, right? Like it looks like she's a little crazy. Like she's sitting on top of this cabinet here. And the way she's sitting on the cabinet is like, this is different. This is, you know, like she's like an animal, some type of creature. And that's the thing. If you actually go to the episode 6 synopsis, escaping from walkers, Connie and Virgil hide in a house occupied by mysterious creatures. That right there is just like what the hell, right? So I'm guessing that first part here where it says escaping from walkers, I'm assuming that is referring to this shot here where they're out at nighttime. And so this is probably in the opening minutes. They're running away from walkers. There is walkers everywhere, sort of thing. They hide in this house, and then it's the next morning. And I think Connie starts to see stuff, right? Like they're hiding in the house. They're trying to stay away from the walkers. And then the morning of, you know, Connie is just sitting there, and then she starts to see stuff because obviously she can't hear anything, right? But she starts to see stuff. And I think her senses obviously are going to be a lot heightened. She'll be able to see things and notice things better than Virgil can. And so that's why Virgil's a little confused because he's not noticing anything, right? But I just find it interesting that the synopsis refers to these people as creatures. It says escaping from walkers, Connie and Virgil hide in a house occupied by mysterious creatures. That's very interesting right there. Like, I guess they're creatures. Like, I think they're going to play it like that. Like, they're just like these really weird, messed up things. And you're wondering what's happening. You're going to get like this really crazy horror story, right? Where you have this woman like jumping around, like it's going to feel very demonic. And I think you'll have this guy here also playing a role, and I'm sure there's others too. I'm sure it's a family. It's not just going to be these two. It's going to be a lot more than that. And I think in the end, there will be some type of human explanation, some basic and normal explanation that makes everything make sense. And like, that's where I want to bring up all the CRM experiments and stuff, and maybe some that went wrong and stuff. Because I mean, obviously at this point they haven't found a cure, so all of it has went wrong. But maybe earlier on they were doing stuff that was pretty shady. I mean, maybe they're still doing it, I don't know. But I want to talk about this idea here. So obviously we know Angela Kang has referred to these. I mean, I believe it was in the preview special. She actually referred to these creatures as people. Like, she didn't say creatures, but she said that Connie and Virgil run into some really creepy people, or it was something like that. I'm paraphrasing there, but it was something like that. I'm not too sure. Somebody actually just messaged me or messaged on the Discord, and I saw it. So the fact that she said that, and then you combine that with the synopsis that refers to them as creatures, it just seems like there's something off about these people. And like I said, going back to my original question, why would they be so feral? Well, the theory is that the CRM maybe early on or sometime recently tested a cure on them, and then obviously it just caused all of this stuff, because the CRM cure stuff is going to be expanded on a lot in season 2 of World Beyond. We are going to learn so much about what they're trying to do. We saw in World Beyond season 1 that they were doing this. We saw that, I believe it was one of the former doctors. Actually, I think maybe he let himself be a test subject, or maybe he was forced to. I'm not entirely sure, but there is some weird stuff going on here. And it is possible that these people went through a very similar thing, and that the CRM did do tests on them. I think it sounds crazy. It really does. But that's the fun thing about it, is like, I haven't done a theory video like this in a long time. It's been a long time, because I don't like doing crazy theory videos. I really don't. I like doing crazy theory videos, but not like stuff that makes no sense. Like, I want to do stuff where it is kind of possible, where you can kind of see there being an explanation there, and this lines up with it. You know, like, whatever is going on here, there's some type of explanation. And I think the whole CRM thing, I think that could be a really good explanation here. I mean, ignoring the Walker points that I brought up in my previous video, like, it's either going to be these people are just crazy from the apocalypse, or it's the CRM stuff. And I've also seen some people suggesting maybe they're, you know, like they dealt with some type of nuclear fallout or radiation effects or whatever from what's going on in Fear the Walking Dead. Maybe, you know, that's always possible, but I feel like this would be a really cool CRM Easter egg here, especially because we know we're going to be getting some CRM stuff, right? We know that it's going to be coming at some point very soon, because we see the helicopter in the opening sequence there when the credits roll, and that was gone for most of season 10. It was only, I think, in the very first episode or something like that. So it's been a while. This could be that, right? Like, this could be hinting at stuff that's going on there, because like, I'm sure the CRM want to dispose of all their experiments that went wrong and stuff, right? Like, we saw that in the trailer. It looked like they were blowing up a bunch of walkers and stuff, and so I think that's possible. But maybe these two got away because they weren't walkers, right? And there's different things that they do. It's interesting though, right? Like, I do find it interesting. Like, I really wonder what the story is here. I really wonder what the explanation is going to be. I know in the beginning, throughout most of the episode, they're going to be playing it like it's a horror story, like it's like this demonic horror story. But I think towards the end, it's going to start to switch into more of like a, I guess, drama, just like typical Walking Dead story, right? They're going to explain what's actually happening here. And I wonder if they can speak. I wonder if, you know, like, I really wonder if there's going to be something in the scene where all of us are like, whoa, that's CRM. Right? Like, I think that'd be really cool. And she's trying to explain like what happened to her, but she makes like, I don't know, some type of gesture because maybe she can't talk or something. And it's like, we all know immediately that's CRM related or something. Or she says something like she got like a needle, or we see, you know, anyways, a lot of that is like all the smaller, finer details. The main theory, the main topic that I wanted to bring to you guys here today is that maybe instead of this being some type of Walker related thing, maybe this is actually a CRM related thing, and that maybe it's a CRM experiment gone wrong. That is also very possible, right? So definitely post your thoughts down below. I want to know what you guys have to say about this theory. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.